My name is Tom. I'm a avid skier. I travel around the world skiing. I just took the past year off of work and everything to go spend an entire year skiing. So I'm very dedicated.
Awesome. And then through the things that you'd sent me for your intake form, you'd said that you'd mentioned you've had a life of crashes from adrenaline sports.
Yes.
What kind of a toll did that take on your body?
Yeah. Well, again, if I'm not doing a sport that's full of adrenaline, I'm not interested in that sport. Like tennis doesn't do it for me. Mountain biking, road biking to a degree, anything that I can push myself into the pain cave or where there's crazy things going on. So yeah, mostly mountain biking and skiing. And with mountain biking, I've kind of stopped because I'm not real good at understanding the use of brakes. So I tend to go too fast. And here out in the West, there are these flow trails, and if you go too fast on them, you end up ejecting out the top of the curve, and then you're just flying through trees and down hillsides and stuff. So yeah, a lot of crashes. Everything right here, this shoulder has landed on the ground, impacted pretty much hundreds of times in pretty amazing crashes.
Visit the ER a few times?
No, amazingly, no. My crashes have been just beside that, and I have a big pain tolerance, and so it'll heal itself. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll get better.
Put some butter. Yeah. Put some butter on it. It'll be okay eventually. Because of all of that neglect over all these years and never really getting things fixed, not really doing all the right things to repair these injuries and concentrate on getting them, it ended up being that, a lot of my left side of my body just stopped working well. And that's why I found you.
So when you say it just stopped working well, like what was your biggest frustration with your body before coming here?
Well, again, I say I like pain, but the chronic low-level pain of things not working right. The main reason I came in was because I had developed what I called the chicken wing, where I would always pull my hand in up like this just because there was so much damage in the shoulder that if you watched me walk around and when I got tired, my hand would just kind of come up to my chest and just kind of there, and I wouldn't walk normally or do anything just to try and protect the shoulder. And then when I get massages and stuff, massage therapists say that I'm protecting my hip really bad, and that even though I think it's fixed, it's still not. That I need to get that worked out. And so then I went, and some friends of mine introduced me to you and said that they did great things for my friend did great things for his back. And so I went, all right, let's try this out. And it's just been eye-opening as to the kind of changes that happen.
Was there like a point where you thought, this is just how my body will be from now on, and you didn't know it could get fixed?
Certainly. I was just dealing with it, right? Again, the pain tolerance, the suffering. It's just, I've done all these things to myself. It's just, I got to deal with the fact that I've wrecked and, tomahawked down mountains, multiple times. And, that's what I get for, being a bit aggro on stuff.
Right. So then while we were working with you, then at some point you said we had turned on a walking muscle in your back, and we turned that on and it changed your gait. What did that feel like?
Yeah, that was a really, really interesting day. Like my upper glutes maybe or something in my back. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but I started walking differently where I could feel the muscles in my back actually engaging and lifting up my leg and, lifting up the next leg as I walk forward, where previously it was just, my legs were just kind of flopping forward. Now, but then after that, for several weeks, it was very noticeable, but then those muscles changed. And then my body changed shape too as we went. And so, so I had those nice back muscles activated, and I could just feel that my steps were being engaged from, my lower back as opposed to just in my hips.
Right. So you're really in tune with what's going on. Sounds like you could feel all those changes pretty well.
Yeah. Well, I'm becoming more and more in tune because in addition to this, I'm also, I've started doing a bunch of yoga and really started thinking about my body and everything. Because basically I turned 50 and I decided, okay, I got another 50 years to go. Let's see if we can fix all these things. Let's see if I can fix all the damage I did in the first 50 years so that the second 50 years I have a chance of continuing to be functional and going, because as a skier, right, I want to be skiing into my 70s, 80s, hopefully 90s, getting in, being like these people that are over 100 years old and still out there skiing.
Absolutely.
I hope to be able to make it there. And where I was headed, I don't think that was going to happen very well.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
You can of course always get out there, but there's a difference between skiing and just being out on a mountain.
Yeah.
I want to actually actually ski and experience those G forces and stuff. So yeah.
Get in and actively participate still. Awesome. So then you'd said that you came in for a wounded wing, but got a new body.
Yes. We want like what you, when I first met you, you basically said, yeah, you're just a couple abs and one quad. And that was relatively true. If you looked at my body, because again, I worked out all the time. I was biking, I skied, I'm climbing mountains nonstop. But I basically just had these really narrow ab muscles. And then I had like a giant bow legs where the one quad was just, would stick way out around the side. And so I kind of looked like the droid robots from Star Wars 1 with, with Jar Jar, where they rolled and they're just this thin little thing with the big, like thigh plates. And that's kind of what my body looked like. But now I have an incredibly flat stomach. Like my body went from being kind of like triangular like this to flat and round. And then now you can see all the different muscles in my quads. My shoulders are better. I sit right. And again, it keeps going through. And as I'm going through this, and I'm not done, I still have some more work to do, but I'm just phenomenally better from where I was. Another time where you said you were going to do something was the very top muscles here on my stomach. And they were kind of I always had this, my belly, my stomach went out. So the muscles were kind of sitting like this. And then you said, I'm going to activate those today. And then boom, they just rotated 90 degrees down, and that kind of finished off my abs. And yeah, I got nice abs now.
Awesome.
I mean, it's not just you turning them on either. You have to do work, but it allows you to be different. Like I said, my body just looks fundamentally different than it did, before I started this journey.
Yeah, because you were already active and working out, like you said, and then having the muscle activated let it respond better to what you were doing and make full advantage of it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Awesome.
And I've kind of enjoyed, well, it's probably not the right thing to do. I've kind of enjoyed, because I don't see you often, but I've seen you for a long period of time. Mm-hmm. And what I kind of like is experiencing the change. I come and I get, half a dozen muscles fixed, and then I watch my body change over the next, 3 to 4 months. And then you would do another set, and then those would work in. And it was just neat. Now I'm confident that you probably could have just turned everything on or something. We could have gone through this much quicker, but the journey's been fun. And again, it gives me something to look forward to, because I come in and go, all right, how much, my body is so much better than it used to be. How much better is it going to get after this next visit?
Yeah. Take it up another step each time. Would you say that it's like changed your skiing? Has your skiing changed since you started care?
Certainly. I'm much more powerful. I mean, now again, I'm also working on the skiing, so hard to necessarily correlate, but again, my body survives great. I feel like I have a ton more power. I can't imagine that it's not. But again, because I'm doing so much work, I can't necessarily absolutely say that, this is the reason why. But if you look at my body and I feel my power and stuff, because I have no real metric for that, because the kind of skiing that I do is billy goat skiing. It's not I'm not a racer or anything like that. Or I do groomer skiing, but most of my skiing is out in the steeps, and I'm, jumping from rock to rock and bouncing off of things and stuff like that, and doing multiple things. But without a doubt, I feel like my athletic ability now in my 50s is as good as it was in my 20s.
Nice. That's awesome.
Which I think is pretty remarkable.
Yeah. It's like we turned back the clock a little bit.
I hope so. I think so. I feel great.
Awesome. Yeah. And I actually hear that comment a lot. Like people just say, like I was 20 years ago or 30 years ago. Mm-hmm. All right. And then you'd said that like you questioned why you didn't just do the full treatment from the beginning and reap the benefit several years earlier. Why do you feel that way now? Because I can see that after the more I get done, certainly the stronger I am. And the more I'm able to do, and my performance is better. And so why deny yourself the end goal and do this, stepwise thing and get it all done so your whole body is there and functioning right from the beginning, as opposed to, let's make it a little bit better and then see where that goes. Let's do the next thing. So going back and looking at it, going and getting everything done, if my body would have been available to it, because I believe that's also part of it, is that the body has to be accepting. And you say that the body has to be accepting of the treatment for it to work. Yeah, I could have been there faster, and then I would just, over these past several years, I would have been that much stronger the entire time. But it also, as a scientist,
it's nice to kind of watch and keep proving to myself that yes, this is the right thing to do. And it is making a difference. So I can sit there and see, oh, this is the change that occurred this time. And now let's go work that in. Let's get the body set there. And then I get to go back, and it's like going back and getting another Christmas present. So delayed gratification is a thing. Also, as a scientist, like we work hard for a long period of time, and then maybe a few years down the road, we actually succeed. So I'm really big into delayed gratification, and that could be some sort of my personal psychology as to
Nice.
as to why I did it as well. And again, it's also right. Once you get everything done, and if you got everything done at once, isn't it better to get gifts every week than just wait until Christmas sort of thing, right? So these gifts that I'm giving myself, it's a way of being nice to myself and accumulating them over time as opposed to just getting it done. But again, that's a personality thing, I think, related to me as opposed to someone else. I mean, I couldn't. In no way would I say that you should, carry it out as long as I have.
Right.
Getting everything done. I mean, just because I've seen the changes in my body, getting it all done faster, certainly, I would have reaped more rewards in life, I believe.
Makes sense. So you brought up an interesting point as a scientist then, and is looking at this as a scientific process. We create a hypothesis, we test it and see the outcome. How would you say we measure up as far as that goes? It
keeps proving to be true. Like I said, I take these, I get a bunch of work done, and then I go and work it in, and I see the change, and then next time I go, I see the change again. So I mean, it's been half a dozen different sessions at least, and each time it just reproves it to me that this is the right thing to do. As a scientist, I'm looking at what you're doing and stuff, and I understand acupuncture and nerves and everything like that. And so I'm highly, highly skeptical. But at the same time, it keeps working. So this and then other reflexology stuff that I've done have been some of the biggest changes in my life. I did reflexology for this. It is, but it isn't. And then I also did it for my diet and changed things based on those results. And it changed my digestive system. And now I eat great. I process food great. And so the body knows. So what I'm coming to is the body knows there's energy in the body. And if the right people listen to it, you can find out what's wrong. It's a great counterbalance to Western medicine, where Western medicine is trying to find something sick and then give you something for it, where this is listening to the body and responding to the body. And again, I can't say why it works, but it certainly does.
What would you say to someone who's on the fence about starting care?
Give it a shot. You certainly are thinking about it. Give it a shot and do like I did. Don't sign up for the whole thing. Sign up for part of it, and then do a test, and then again see the difference. Watch the difference and prove it to yourself that it works, because it does. Right. I know 3 people that have visited you. I am trying to get other people to come visit you. I don't know why they don't believe me. Yeah. We haven't quite figured that one out yet, because they can see, my friends can see the change too in my body, in that I am the stronger person, but they can always relate it to something else, or who knows, because I am just a really, really active person. So if you're on the fence, certainly, like I said, just give it a try. Do a little bit of it, try it, and convince yourself, be open to it, and watch it work. And once you watch it work, it's hard to deny it. It's hard to deny it.
And you said that, you saw those changes over months, right? It's not like an instant thing, but it shows up later. Right.
For the most part. I mean, for the walking thing, after you did that thing where I started walking different with my back, and that it was huge differences of just the way I stepped, and it would pull my walking all the way up through my back. So that was a pretty obvious thing. With my stomach, changing shape pretty rapidly, that was something. But then as you continue to work out, you just watch those muscles fill out far more than they ever did before. Because I've been working out my entire life, and I've just never had a body that looked this way. It just fundamentally looked different. I was shaped different. And now I'm shaped like an athlete, as opposed to,
that's cool,
a weekend warrior hack.
That's awesome.
Like you were around and I knew about this stuff when I was in high school, instead of me being always in second best at all the things I was doing. it might have taken me across the line to really being good. Because some of these things that you're doing are definitely things I can relate back to. Obviously, it was in my childhood. Those muscles weren't active in my childhood. Other things are probably like my shoulder and stuff was certainly due to the massive wrecks.
The injuries, yeah.
Injuries and stuff that I've taken, and whiplash and other things. So yeah, try it. It makes a difference.
Last thing, just kind of a fill in the blank. So the sentence goes, if you're struggling with your body like I was, here's what I would tell you.
Try it. It works.
Awesome.
Yeah, believe in it. Yeah. Let your life be changed. Let your body be changed. And get out of that pain. Like, no longer do I was always walking around with my arm up like this for several years. No longer.
Chicken wing.
I had the chicken wing arm, and no longer do I do that at all. I walk normal, and everything is working.
Great. Anything else you want to mention before we wrap it up?
Oh, it's pretty good. No, just thank you. Thank you for what you've been able to do for me and how you've been able to extend and rejuvenate my athleticism.
You're welcome. Thanks for letting us help you. It's
Thank you.
Definitely our honor and pleasure to do that.
And you guys are great to be around. You're really fun energy every time I walk in. I leave happier.
Awesome. Yeah, we try and have a fun, happy environment.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Okay. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us about what you've had going on and how we've helped you. So I appreciate that.
Awesome. Thank you, Dr. River.